Hello students, this is Sandeep Kumar Singh. I hope you all are fine and doing well. So today I am going to explain a very beautiful poem from class 9th standard CBSE, and the name of the poem is Rain on the Roof, written by Coates Kinney. So by the title of the poem you can see that the rain on the roof, we can make out that the poem is about the rain, and the poet is telling us about the memories he has of the rain. The sound of the raindrops falling on the roof of his house brings back sweet memories of the past. So now let's read the poem and find out that what sort of memory does it flash across the mind of the poet. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, when I bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Students, so now let us see here some new words. Humid means, do you know? Humid means cloud, which is full of moistures. And here starry spheres means the sky. Melancholy means what? Sadness. And bliss means happiness. So when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, here the poet is saying that when the sky is full of clouds, which is full of moisture, isn't it? When sky is covered with the cloud, at that time the stars are not visible, isn't it? The stars are not visible, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in the rainy tears. And here the darkness means what? Night. So here it is said that that rain that started falling, so it appears as if the night is weeping. It appears that as if the night is crying. And in the form of what? These rains are falling in the form of tears. So that is why here the poet has said that it appears as if the night is crying, and the rain is falling in the form of tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. And here on the contrary side, the poet is so happy. Why he is happy? Because that particular time when the rain is falling, at the time the poet was in the cottage chamber, he was in his chamber, in the cottage chamber, and that rain was falling on the roof of that chamber. So the falling of that rain, creating a typical type of sound on the roof, and that is given here as a pattering sound, of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. So here the poet is enjoying, as he was lying in his cottage chamber bed, and he was pressing the pillow, and he was enjoying by listening the sound of the pattering sound of the rain which was falling on the roof of his cottage chamber bed. So here mainly two things are there, as poet has stated. Firstly, that when this sky, which is covered with the cloud, stars are not visible, and when rain starts, so it seems as if the night, as if the night is so sad and it is crying. That means rain is what? It is crying in the form of rain. And rain is falling. It appears as if the rain is crying and tears are falling from his eyes. Okay, and on the contrary side, at that particular moment, the poet is enjoying by listening to the pattering sound of the rain, okay, which was falling on his cottage chamber bed. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being stirred, and 1,000 recollection wave their ear threads into woof, and I listen to the patter on the rain upon the roof. Okay, here tinkle means, here again it's a kind of sound, okay, which is produced when rain falls on the roof of the houses. Okay, and mainly here shingles, it's kind of what we can say rectangular shape. Okay, tiles you might have seen mainly in the north side in UP and Bihar, and again in West Bengal also. Okay, the houses are made of shingles, that means roofs are made of shingles. It's a rectangular shape tiles, okay, brown color. So here every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. So when rain falls on that particular shingles, okay, on that particular tiles, so a kind of sound produces, and that sound is tinkling sound. Okay, and that sound, okay, that sound generates an echo sound in the heart of the poet. Okay, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being stirred, and when he hears that particular sound, here busy being means human being. Okay, and when that sound here the poet hears, okay, after hearing that sound, he started dreaming, okay, his past memories. He started dreaming of his so many past memories, fancies. Okay, all of that memories started coming into his mind, and 1,000 recollection wave their ear threads into woof. Okay, as you know that woof is what? It's a loom. Okay, where the thread is what? Wrapped. So, and 1,000 recollection wave their ear threads into woof. I listen to the patter on the rain upon the roof. So when the poet, he listens to the sound of that is tinkling sound, okay, when rain falls on the shingles, so he starts dreaming, and in his dream so many fancies, so many imaginations, so many his past, okay, what we can say recollections starts coming into his mind. Okay, now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone means past, to regard the darling dreamers, era, she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me, and I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Okay, here first thing is agone means past. Okay, then what? Then era means what? That is also a poetic word for the before. Okay, for before, it's a poetic word. And list means, actually it's a poetic word here. List means listen. Okay, and refrain, this is refrain means actually it is repeated poem. Okay, actually it's called a repeated sound, but mainly this word is used in the case of song, but here it refers to the sound, that tinkling sound, okay, which falls on the roof, that get repeated. So here refrain means the repeated sound. And dawn means daybreak. Okay, when day breaks, okay, when day starts. So you see, now in memory comes my mother, okay, as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers era, she left them till the dawn. So here the poet is telling that now in memory. So as in the second stanza he has already said, okay, that so many fancies and imagination started coming into his mind. So now in his mind, the mother of the memory of his mother started coming, okay, who is no more. So the memory of his mother was coming into his mind, as she used in years agone, okay, to regard the darling dreamers. He started dreaming, okay, of his darling mother, okay, Ira the left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me, and I list to this refrain. Here his mother, okay, when same situation used to be in the earlier times when his mother was there, okay, when rainfall takes place and they used to heard the sound of rain on their roof. So at that time his mother allowed him to sleep, okay, up to late, okay. So here he had shown a kind of love and affection towards his mother, okay. He started recollecting her memories, who is no more, who allowed him to sleep, okay, up to late, okay. So he see here the poet introduces his mother, okay, and he says that he is dreaming of his mother, and as he had told in the previous stanzas that rain brings memories of the past, so it is the memory of his mother, okay, who is no longer alive. In the past she used to love him a lot, okay, and she used to consider him a darling, and she would let him sleep till daybreak, okay, that means up to the late in the morning till daybreak, and have a sweet dreams. So the poet can still feel that his mother is looking at him, okay. So right now also he is feeling, okay, that right now his mother is looking at him, and he listens to the song made by the raindrops falling on the roof top of his room, okay, and the sound of the rain makes him correlate his past with his present, okay. And this is the main point what we can say, that here the poet he is actually correlating, okay, his past with the present by hearing the sound of the rain which is falling on the roof, okay. So that is why the poet is moved by the sound of the raindrops on the shingles of his room, and whenever he hears this sound it brings back memories of the past, and he is reminded of his mother, okay. So this is the poem. Now let us see the poetic devices which is used in the poem, okay. So number one literary devices which is used is the alliteration, the repetition of a consonant sound in two or more consecutive words, okay, that is called alliteration. So here you can find that humid hover, each sound is repeating, okay. Again one more word is there, steri-sphere, here also sa sound is repeating, okay. Press pillow, again here pa sound is repeating. Lie listening, okay, here also what, this la sound is repeating. So in stanza 1 there is what, an use of alliteration, okay. Next there is use of onomatopoeia, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect and auditory imagery. Patter is the use of sound word, it is the sound made by the raindrop falling on the rooftop, okay. So here patter, it's a what, this word itself is expressing its sound, so that is called onomatopoeia, okay. Again there is use of personification, okay, treating a non-living thing as a living being. You might have seen in the stanza first that darkness has been personified when he says that it is said, okay. Here darkness is what, that is what we can say expressed as a said, okay, and that darkness started crying, okay, and tears started falling from his eyes in the form of rain. So here darkness is personified, so that is why there is use of personification, okay. Again number 4, there is use of transferred epithet. What is this? The use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. In melancholy darkness you can see that the darkness is not melancholy, but it refers to the sad people, okay, isn't it? Here what, here it has been said that the darkness started crying, isn't it? But actually what, darkness is a non-living thing, isn't it? So it cannot cry. So here that darkness actually symbolizes sad people, okay, the people those who are sad, okay, that symbolizes the darkness. Again in stanza 2 you can see that there is an use of alliteration, the repetition of a consonant sound in two or more consecutive words. The words are busy being, Okay, it means what? Human being. So here the ba sound is repeating. Their thread. Okay, here tha sound is repeating, and rain roof, here ra sound is repeating. So there is use of alliteration. Okay, again here also you will find the use of onomatopoeia. Okay, so the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect and auditory imagery, like tinkle. Okay, the tinkle word itself what reflects the sound, particular tinkling sound, patter. Okay, so these are onomatopoeia. Again in here also you can see that there is use of personification, treating a non-living thing as a living being. Recollection is personified when he says that they wave dreams, isn't it? Here what? Recollection is personified because they wave their dreams. So actually what? These recollections are non-living, isn't it? Again there is use of transferred epithet, the use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. Dreamy fancies. It does not mean that the fancies are dreamy, but refers to the people who have dreams. Okay. In stanza 3 also there is an use of alliteration, the repetition of a consonant sound in 2 or more consecutive words. The words are memory, my mother. Here ma sound is repeating. Okay. Darling dreamers, da sound is repeating. So there is also use of alliteration. Again here also you can see that there is use of onomatopoeia, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect and auditory imagery. Patter. Okay, the sound of raindrops falling on the shingles of the roof. So patter, the patter word what? This word itself reflects the particular sound which get created. Okay, so there is an use of onomatopoeia. So students, this is all about the poem, including its literary devices. So I hope you have understood this poem. Okay, so if you like my videos, please do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to press the bell icons to get more video updates. Thank you.